And it is a beautiful start from our...
Okay. Go like...
Yeah. It's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
I don't know how that looks.
This is breaking news from Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
And we're learning new information this hour about a story that broke overnight on the city's east side. Good morning. Welcome to Sunrise on this Sunday. I'm Chris Kirshner in for Naomi Peskovitz. A father was killed after a shooting at a bar near 21st and Franklin. Our Eyewitness News reporter Matt McCutcheon joins us live. He's at Magnolia's Bar and Grill, and he has new information about the victim this morning. Matt.
Good morning. This is where everything unfolded around 4 o'clock this morning. Witnesses describe it simply as a scene of chaos here in this parking lot, this wide parking lot of the strip mall centering outside of the Magnolia Bar and Grill. Police say that's where around 4 o'clock this morning there was a large presence, dozens of people in that parking lot, when there was some sort of argument and at least one shot was fired, a shot that killed a 27-year-old young father. Here is a picture of that victim. His family identifies him as 27-year-old Terry Jr. He has a 3-year-old son pictured here with him. Police say around 4 o'clock this morning, someone fired one shot that killed him here in the parking lot. They have been talking to witnesses and trying to determine if there's any surveillance camera images from businesses in that strip mall that could help them lead to a suspect, all while the family now must cope with the loss of this young father.
My son, he usually don't go out too much, but I don't know why he came here.
The person out there who did this is watching. What would you even begin to say to that person?
God bless him. God bless him. I mean, that's it.
The family of 27-year-old Terry Proctor Jr. sharing this photo so that anyone with information about what happened will come forward and call police as they move on and prepare for burial arrangements, all while trying to explain to his 3-year-old son what happened to his father. Anyone with information can call or text the anonymous police tip line. That's 262-TIPS. We'll stay on scene and bring you the very latest information as we have it. Franklin Road here along 21st Street is back open at this hour as police have recently cleared the scene while their investigation continues. Reporting live, Matt McCutcheon, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
All right, Matt, thanks so much for that report. And new on Sunrise, 2 people taken to the hospital this morning. This after a shooting on the city's west side that happened in the 1800 block of North Centennial Street just after midnight. Officers found the 2 victims with gunshot wounds to the legs. They were taken to the hospital for treatment. They are expected to be okay. No arrests have been made yet in this case. And we're keeping a watch on the weather this morning as temperatures are reaching into the 40s. This is a live look downtown. Look at that sunshine.
Beautiful.
Also, still some snow on the ground,
Yes.
but that's already started to melt as we're getting some relief from the cold temperatures we've had this week. And our meteorologist Kelly Green joins us with some good news, and that's that it's warming up a little bit.
Yes, finally starting to thaw out. Of course, the past 3 weekends in a row, we were dealing with some kind of winter precipitation, mainly snow.
Yeah.
So definitely time to start digging out of these cold temperatures and all of this snowpack. As you can see from our Noblesville cam, we do have a snowpack on the ground, but it's already starting to recede, as well as in Nashville. Look at this, look at beautiful blue sky, and certainly a lot of that snowpack just disappearing with all that sunshine. It is currently 28 degrees right now in Nineveh, 32 in Columbus, 28 in Kokomo, 31 in Greensburg, and 26 in Bloomington. And temperatures all across central Indiana are holding steady in the mid to upper 20s right now, but we'll see a decent climb later on today as the winds start to pick up out of the southwest. not as breezy as yesterday. Yesterday, we had a high of 42 degrees, and that wind chill value made it feel like it was actually in the low to mid 30s. Today, temperatures climb into the mid 40s, and it will feel more like 44 degrees for the high for Indianapolis. A lot of sunshine, too. We are tracking a slow warming trend this week, and it will feel much more like spring. In fact, we're tracking temperatures near 60 degrees. We're also looking out for a chance of rain, not snow. And I'll have those details coming up in just a few minutes. Chris?
And new information breaking overnight about the missing Malaysian aircraft. Today marks the anniversary of its disappearance. Early this morning, the first comprehensive report was released about the mysterious vanishing of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. It reveals the battery of an underwater locator beacon had expired more than a year before the plane vanished. This morning, Chinese relatives of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 passengers gathered to pray in Beijing to mark the one-year anniversary of that plane's disappearance. Malaysia's transport minister says a meeting is scheduled for next month to talk about the search efforts.
Now, by end of May, if we still cannot find the plane, then we have to go back to the drawing board. I'm cautiously optimistic it should be in this area because they're confident, the expert, given us the data, the plane is in the South Indian Ocean.
The significance of the expired battery was not immediately apparent in today's report, except indicating that searchers would have had lesser chance of locating the aircraft in the Indian Ocean. 239 people were on board when that plane disappeared. Indianapolis joined the rest of the country in remembering an important day in America's history and a turning point in the fight for civil rights for African Americans.
We honor those who walked so we could run. We must run so our children soar.
50 years to the day after Bloody Sunday, President Barack Obama joined survivors and their families to march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. That's the same bridge in Selma, Alabama, where people peacefully marching for voting rights were beaten and tear gassed by police officers. President George W. Bush and congressional leaders also took part in the Selma commemoration. And back home, there was a memorial march through downtown Indianapolis. People gathered at the Light of the World Church on Washington Street at noon yesterday and walked 5 miles to the State House. Organizers said the walk was meant to honor the sacrifice made by protesters all those years ago. Madison, Wisconsin police say the 19-year-old shot and killed by police Friday night was not armed. That shooting happened after police say Tony Robinson assaulted an officer. The officer who shot Robinson has more than a dozen years of experience and was involved in another shooting back in 2007. In that case, he was cleared of any wrongdoing. Both police and Robinson's family have asked that any protests be peaceful. As spring approaches, there is growing concern in Indianapolis to keep teenagers off the streets and out of trouble. That's why dozens of people came together at the church to talk about gangs. The meeting's just one of the many geared toward opening a dialogue between adults and teens about avoiding a life of crime and violence. IMPD Chief Rick Height was there and says it's programs like this that have a lasting impact for our city's youth.
Places like this open up the doors on weekends, in the evenings, have a place to go, safe places, open spaces, having a place to have an out, either whether basketball or someone to talk to. I had a part-time job that helped during the summertime, but just have to surround yourself with the right people. It's people, places, and things that get you into trouble.
Dates and locations are still being finalized for future workshops, some of which will be catered to teachers in addition to those teenagers. Well, Kelly is here once again. We're going to talk about the weather. I mentioned to you that my son was a little disappointed that his fort was melting.
Right.
We saw a snowman that had toppled over as well. I'm glad to see him go, personally.
Yes, I think most people are ready for especially some of that dirty snow to melt away. And we're definitely going to see a warming trend allow a lot of that melting to happen. A weak cold front trying to bring a few clouds into the area this morning. It will be dry this weekend and warmer. I'll have the details coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast.
And an arrest made overnight after a man climbs on top of the roof of a famous London landmark. Next to new on Sunrise, how long it took officers to get him down. And the famous Iditarod dog sled race kicked off in a new location. Why they had to move the start line. New on Sunrise, 5 suspects accused in the killing of Russian opposition leader Boris Nemtsov are in court this morning for arraignment. Russian authorities say they arrested 2 of those suspects yesterday. Nemtsov was fatally shot near the Kremlin just over a week ago as he was walking home. The latest in the fight against ISIS. The terror group has a new ally this morning. Boko Haram, the Nigeria-based Islamist terror group, has pledged allegiance to ISIS. That's according to an audio message purported to be from the group's leader. In the audio, which was posted online Saturday, the speaker says Boko Haram is announcing its allegiance to the Caliph of the Muslims, the ISIS leader. A Canadian freight train carrying crude oil derailed early yesterday morning in northern Ontario, setting off a huge fire. Take a look at this amateur video. It was taken in the moments after 10 cars jumped the tracks. Ontario Provincial Police said the derailment happened about 2:45 in the morning Saturday, with some of the cars catching fire and others falling into a river. There were no reports of injuries. Local residents were told to avoid drinking from the local community source until further notice. Well, this is the second time in 3 days a train loaded with crude oil derailed and burst into flames. The first one happened in northern Illinois Friday in a rural area where the Galena River meets the Mississippi. 21 of the 103 cars derailed from the tracks. And as of this morning, that fire continues to burn. No injuries were reported in that incident. New on Sunrise, police arrested a man in London early this morning after he was spotted on the roof of the British Parliament building. The 23-year-old was seen on the top of the building just after 9 o'clock last night. He was arrested about 8 hours later and taken to a police station in suspicion of criminal damage and trespassing. Officials say they don't know why he was on the roof at the time. The Iditarod sledding race officially kicks off tomorrow, but it will be in a different place. It's been unseasonably warm along the historic trail in Alaska, to the point that there are even patches of exposed grass and gravel. That's why the famous dog sled race has been moved about 225 miles north and will take off in Fairbanks. You know, this is only the second time in the race's 43-year history that that's happened. So kind of a strange thing going on when it's too warm in Alaska for the Iditarod race, and it's so cold here and unseasonably so.
We have had unseasonably cold temperatures, and they've been a bit above normal, but that would be a cool race to see someday in action.
You could bring it here, and it would work, except that things are melting fast.
Yeah, last weekend definitely would have been the case since we had so much snow across the area, but we're starting to thaw out. In fact, we have a warming trend where temperatures will climb close to 60 degrees later this week. I'll get to that in just a moment, but we do have another weak cold front moving across the Great Lakes area, trying to bring some moisture into the area, but it is just too dry. Check out this beautiful clear look from our WeatherBug network, downtown Indianapolis, Lucas Oil, and taking a look at our Morris Reservoir cam here in Cicero. A lot of blue sky and certainly a different look from yesterday where we had ripples on the lake because of the breezy conditions. The wind was blowing and the flag was out full staff because of the breezy conditions, but today a much different feel because the winds are calming down quite a bit, and that is definitely going to bring an improvement across central Indiana. It is currently 28 degrees in Greenfield, 31 in Anderson, 27 in Cicero, 27 degrees in Zionsville, and it is currently 30 in Greensburg, 28 in Richmond, 28 in Seymour, and 27 in Greencastle. And we are tracking a beautiful day today, a lot of sunshine on tap. Breezes are light out of the south-southwest at 6 miles per hour, air temperature at 28, and it feels like it is 22 degrees. Now we are tracking a warming trend, and of course we did spring forward this morning, so sunrise was officially at 8:08 this morning for Indianapolis, and sunset will be at 7:44 tonight. Cold trend changes. Of course, we've had below normal temperatures, and believe it or not, we've been 27 days in a row of below normal temperatures. This weekend, average highs right around 48 degrees. Yesterday, we finally climbed to 42 degrees, so still below average, but that's the first time that we've actually climbed above 40 degrees since February the 8th, where we actually climbed to 57 degrees. Now, we are tracking a chance of 60-degree weather later this week, and we're also tracking rain, not snow. Now, temperatures this afternoon will respond to that southwesterly breeze. It won't be as breezy as yesterday, so it will actually feel like it's actually in the mid-40s across central Indiana. Highs today topping out around 44 degrees in Indianapolis with mostly sunny skies. As we head into the afternoon, temperatures will climb to 48 degrees in North Vernon, 43 in Lafayette, 41 the high in Peru, and 45 for Richmond. Temperatures will fall to around 30 degrees tomorrow morning, on track for normal for this time of year. And then we'll see highs topping out around 46 degrees tomorrow afternoon. We are tracking a chance of some rain on Tuesday. The latest model runs have this moving up a little bit farther to the north, so we'll keep a chance of rain for areas along and south of I-70 on Tuesday. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. High of 44 degrees for this afternoon, 46 tomorrow. Still a couple degrees below average on Monday, but it will feel great. Finally, 51 on Tuesday with a chance of rain, and then we continue the warming trend with a good chance of rain moving in on Friday. Chris?
All right, Kelly, thank you. It was a night to recognize talent and beauty of 16 young women here in central Indiana. The Miss Amazing pageant was held at Butler University. The pageant dedicated to raising self-confidence for girls with disabilities. Now, if you'd like to learn more about the pageant and the girls involved, we'll check out our link at WTHR.com. You'll find it under Hot Topics. A local charity wants you to turn your gently used dress into a chance to help a teen live her dream. Rachel's Cinderella Story is looking for gently used prom dresses for its March 21st sale at Monon Trail Elementary in Westfield. The charity sells the dresses for $20 to the general public, but gives them away to children in need. Right now they have a special need for larger dresses. Now we do have a list of drop-off locations for your donations on our website. Again, that's at WTHR.com, and that's also under Hot Topics. One team is trending up, another sliding at the wrong time. IU and Purdue look to improve their postseason odds in the final day of the regular season. Rich Nye has a look at how they did. That's coming up. Well, welcome back to Sunrise, and we hope you'll stay with us after Sunrise today for Inside Indiana Business. Here's host Gary Dick with more on today's show.
Well, coming up at 11 o'clock, the City County Council this week approved first-year funding for a multi-year pre-K program for disadvantaged youth in Marion County. It was a major initiative that over 5 years would be a public-private partnership investment of some $40 million. The business community chipping in about $10 million to that effort.
The businesses that are stepping up realize that our success is tied to the success of the city of Indianapolis, our hometown. And when we look at the long-term strength of our city, we know we have to dramatically improve the educational outcomes of all of our children, and that has to start early. And that's why we've gotten involved very aggressively in this pre-K initiative.
We'll have much more on pre-K in Marion County and the business connection, plus the innovators with Dr. K, an IU MBA graduate with an idea for couture tea, high-end tea, after working behind the scenes at New York Fashion Week. It's an interesting story. She's expanding into Indiana now. We'll have that story and a lot more. It's all coming up on the next edition of Inside Indiana Business this morning at 11 right here on Channel 13.
Now, Eyewitness Sports.
Good morning, I'm Rich Nye. This once looked like a lost season for the Indiana Pacers. Now they are the hottest team in the NBA and ride a 5-game winning streak. And Paul George could return soon. The Pacers blew out the Knicks on Wednesday in Indy. Not so easy in New York City last night against the worst team in the NBA. David West scored 14, 11 rebounds. Game tied fourth quarter. George Hill, corner three-pointer, gives Indiana the lead for good. 15 points for Hill. Rodney Stuckey puts the finishing touch on the victory, going high off the glass. 17 points off the bench. Pacers win 92-86. It's the longest winning streak of the season, now stretching to 5 games.
I'm proud of our defensive effort, and we needed it. We had a tough shooting night. We talked about throughout the game. These are the games you gotta find a way to win. Win it with your defense. Shots aren't always going to go, but your defense can be consistent. And played out that way.
If the paint crew wants to dance in March, Purdue has to win at home against Illinois. The Boilermakers fell behind by a dozen in the first half. A.J. Hammonds hits the turnaround to pull Purdue within 5 at the half. Hammond scored 16. Rafael Davis, his three-pointer gives the Boilers the lead early second half. Davis led the way with 18 points. John Octius also double digits with 11. Purdue wins 63-58, 20 wins for the Boilermakers.
It's another quality win for us, and obviously it can change your seed how you win, and we got to have some games, especially on Sunday. The Ohio State-Wisconsin game will change whether we're a 4 or 5, but we just want to play good basketball. There's so many things that are out of your control at this point, but you can still control your effort, and that's what we got to keep doing, is just playing hard.
I don't think so, but some say Tom Crean's job is in danger. 3 straight losses to end the regular season, 3 straight losses at Assembly Hall certainly turns up the heat. Yogi Ferrell caught Michigan State napping. He scored 21. 9 ties, 11 lead changes on Saturday. Nick Zeisloft hit 5 3-pointers, but Michigan State up 2 in the final seconds. A missed free throw will give IU a chance. When Yogi Ferrell gets fouled, goes to the free throw line, but misses the second free throw, and Indiana loses 74-72. Tom, what about that negative noise?
I don't read anything with my name in it. So, I really don't. I haven't for some time. JD keeps me aware of what I have to be knowing in case there's a blind side somewhere. But other than that, it's locked into. I read, but I don't read about that stuff. But we just want to get better.
Realize it, Dick. Andrew Schrabis back in the starting lineup and back in his home state of Rhode Island as Butler played at Providence. Bulldogs off to a good start. Schrabis with the steal. Throw ahead to Roosevelt Jones for the throw down. Jones led the Bulldogs with 16 points. Keelan Martin, the freshman, big off the bench. He makes a steal, heads the other way for 2 of his 14 points. A double-digit lead on the road against the top 25 team. And Kellen Dunham, big 3 in the second half. Butler hit a team record 20 for 20 at the free throw line and hangs on for a 68-64 win. And senior day at Notre Dame for Pat Connaughton and Jaron Grant. The 12th ranked Fighting Irish hosting Clemson. Seniors shine. Connaughton, corner 3 is good. Notre Dame let Clemson hang around for about a half, but then Jaron Grant hanging around in the second half. Grant leads the way with 19 points. Notre Dame wins 81-67, 26 wins for the Irish, and the third seed in the ACC tourney this week. Well, we'll have more for you later on this morning. All the high school basketball, including the girls' state finals and several local teams winning state championships.
All right, Rich, thank you. And we're continuing to follow breaking news this morning on a fatal shooting on the city's east side. Coming up in a live report, our Matt McCutcheon will have the latest on the victim and what police say happened. Plus, a dramatic rescue on Lake Michigan, how 2 teenagers called for help after they were stranded in icy water. And breaking news this morning, one man fatally shot on the city's east side. We're learning new information from the victim's family, and we'll have that for you coming up in a live report. And college party chaos coming up. The students describe the terrifying moments before the roof collapsed.
A weak cold front is moving across central Indiana this morning. It'll bring a few clouds, but it'll be dry today. We are tracking warmer temperatures. I'll have the details coming up on Sunrise.
From Indiana's news leader, Eyewitness News at Sunrise continues.
We're also going to be talking cupcakes and the outcome of the Cupcake Wars with a special guest in our studio coming up here in just a little bit. Good morning to you and welcome to Sunrise on this Sunday. And if you're feeling a little sleepy, it's because, well, we lost an hour of sleep, but we'll get more on the back end with more daylight. I'm Chris Kirshner, by the way, in for Naomi. And meteorologist Kelly Green is here to talk to us also about a warm-up, so that'll make you feel good.
Yes, and thank you for being in here. I know it's a tough morning when we're starting daylight saving time, and yes, the sun did arise officially at 8:08 this morning. It will set tonight at 7:44. We've had a few clouds trying to move in. A weak cold front is moving into the area, and our Kokomo cam from Weatherbug Center is definitely showing some blue sky, a few clouds around the area, and from Crawfordsville, we also have a lot of blue sky around as well. So it is a beautiful start all across central Indiana. Currently 28 degrees in Indianapolis, 30 in Nineveh, 32 in Greensburg, Bloomington 26 degrees, and Seymour at 28. And taking a look at our future track, we do have winds that will be out of the southwest today. Temperatures climb into the low to mid 40s this afternoon across central Indiana. Not nearly as breezy as yesterday, so we did have a high of 42 yesterday, but really it felt like it was in the low to mid 30s, and that's because of the wind chill value. Today, it will actually feel like 44 degrees. Now, we are also tracking a warming trend as it will continue during the work week, feeling like spring, and temperatures will be nearing that 60-degree mark. We're also tracking rain, not snow. So I'll have those details coming up in your SkyTrack 13 forecast in just a few minutes.
Breaking news overnight, a 27-year-old father was killed in a shooting outside of a bar on the city's east side. Now, this happened about 4 o'clock this morning at Magnolia's Bar and Grill at the corner of 21st Street and Franklin Road. And that's where our Matt McCutcheon joins us live. He has the latest on that investigation. Matt, good morning.
Good morning. Police are more than 5 hours into the investigation and everything that happened inside the parking lot of that business. Police recently cleared the scene, and 21st and Franklin is back open at this hour. But the questions still remain about what happened in the parking lot area around 4 o'clock this morning that resulted in the murder of 27-year-old Terry Proctor Jr., seen here with his young 3-year-old son. Police say around 4 o'clock this morning there was a large gathering in the parking lot outside of the Magnolia Bar and Grill when, in the midst of everything, something happened. An argument ensued, and at least one shot was fired that killed him here in the parking lot. Family members came rushing to the scene, a very emotional time for them as they now process the loss of this young father while also trying to explain everything to his 3-year-old son about what happened here in this parking lot.
I've never lost a child before, you know, so I mean, I'm his daddy now. You know, and still his granddaddy too, but just tell him his daddy loved him. I mean, he knows, you know, he's 3 years old.
Family members are sharing this picture of Terry Proctor Jr., hoping that someone who knows something about what happened in this parking lot will call police and help them with their investigation. The phone number there, 262-TIPS, for those anonymous tips. Police spent several hours here at the scene collecting evidence, even towing away cars as part of their investigation. Also trying to determine if there are any surveillance images from cameras in the businesses in that parking lot that could ultimately lead them to figure out what exactly happened in that parking lot. And we, of course, will continue to follow this developing story. Reporting live, Matt McCutcheon, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
Man, when you see that picture, such a sad story there, Matt. Thank you. And new on Sunrise, a crash on the north side overnight sends 3 to the hospital. Take a look at the video. This caught on our NDOT cameras along I-465 near the Westfield Boulevard exit. We're told one of the victims was a child, but right now officials are not releasing the condition of those victims. 2 Indiana State Police cars were hit last night in Indianapolis while trying to help clear crashes from the highway. That happened on the ramp from I-70 to I-465 on the east side. An icy roadway may be partially to blame. One trooper was investigating a crash and sitting in his patrol car when a driver of another car lost control, hitting that trooper's car. You see there the damage to the back of the cruiser. The driver who hit it is suspected of driving under the influence. Another trooper then came to help, and that's when another vehicle lost control, hitting that second patrol car. 2 people were taken to the hospital. They are expected to be okay. More passengers have now filed lawsuits after that megabus crash on I-65 near Seymour last December. 68 passengers were on board the double-decker bus when it veered off the road and rolled on its side, injuring about 24 people. The Chicago Sun-Times reports that 4 passengers have filed suit alleging driver negligence. A megabus spokesman says the company is aware of the litigation and that safety is that company's first priority. This morning, we're getting a new look at a fire that caused the evacuation of 2 homes on the city's near south side. One of our viewers sent us this cell phone video of a vacant house fire that happened yesterday morning near the intersection of Adler and Talbot. Families living next door were evacuated as the flames reached their homes, damaging the exterior. Investigators still have not released the cause of that fire as of this morning. Investigators say they will release the identity of the person killed in a fire in Crawfordsville tomorrow. The state fire marshal is investigating the cause of the fire at Shady Knoll Apartments. Several families lost everything they owned, and one person was killed in that Friday night fire. And fires like these are a good reminder to change the batteries in your smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors. Fire crews say daylight saving is a good time to do it each year as you're changing the time on your clocks. A father and son, they're safe this morning after they were rescued from a river in Shelby County. The men were canoeing in the Big Blue River in the southwest corner of the county when their canoe capsized. Even though they were clinging to a log in the river, they managed to use a cell phone to call police. After a long hike from the closest road through the woods to the river, crews used ropes to pull the pair to safety. They were taken to the hospital to be treated for possible hypothermia. The 55-year-old father and 22-year-old son were both wearing life jackets, and rescue crews say that likely saved their lives. A stroll along the icy shoreline of Lake Michigan turned into a harrowing experience for 2 teens in Wisconsin. The ice they were standing on broke free, and they were taken some 40 yards offshore. The teens realized they were too far out, and instead of trying to swim back, one teen called 911 from his cell phone. Soon firefighters were on the scene. Divers braved the cold water and swam out to the boys. Rescuers pulled the ice chunk back to shore with the boys still on it. The teens were wet and cold, but otherwise they were okay. And some amazing video this morning of a roof collapse at a party in California. Police received reports of a loud party at an off-campus residence just before 5 a.m. Saturday. The party was coordinated through social media and drew several thousand partygoers. Just before 6:30 in the morning, a roof collapsed under the weight of about 30 to 40 people.
All this cracking, I tried to jump off and then like everything collapsed.
People started trying to get off, but at that point it was already too late.
At least 7 people were treated for cuts and bruises, but the most serious injury involved the person's thigh being impaled by a piece of debris. None of the injuries that resulted from the collapse, though, were life-threatening. So some excitement there in California. It's pretty tough, but we're seeing some good weather here. This is the upside for us here in central Indiana.
We are finally a warming trend and a dry weekend. Since the last 3 weekends in a row have had some kind of winter precipitation, we're already climbing into the upper 20s and low 30s across our WeatherBug network. All of details about temperatures climbing to near 60 degrees coming up in your forecast.
And how can you not be happy when you're holding a cupcake? I don't know if you can see the sparkles. It's got little pink sparkles on it. Cupcake Charity War is coming up, how bakers battled it out for this sweet cause. For the last 4 days, a group of bakers have battled it out for a very sweet cause. The Cupcake Charity Wars wrapped up yesterday, and one baker stood out from the rest. Right now, Molly Tunney with Laura's Bakery is here this morning to tell us about it. And let me just tell you, Molly, I am in heaven right now.
Thank you.
With all of these sweet treats, so thank you for being here and thank you for bringing them in.
Absolutely.
First of all, let's talk about the Cupcake Wars. What are they exactly?
Every baker in our shop picked one flavor and represented a charity of their choice, and we did a little war. Whoever sold the most cupcakes of their flavor won, and their proceeds go to their charity.
What a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
So you've got some of the cupcakes here. And,
we do.
I'm going to pick out the winner. This was the winner, right?
Yes.
You can see this is the one that has all the pretty pink sparkles on it. Can you tell me a little bit about this one?
That is Teresa's Neapolitan cupcake. It's a chocolate cake. It had a strawberry cream cheese icing and a marshmallow filling. Her charity was the German Shepherd Rescue Indy in memory of Rod Broadway.
Oh, look at that. Well, I'm just going to kind of keep this one close to me right here. But what a wonderful charity, yeah, for the German Shepherd. Can you talk a little bit about that and why she chose that?
That was just her choice that she chose, but she sold well over 200 plus cupcakes, so it's looking great for them.
Oh, and we see some of the dogs there, of course, we know very well about the tragedy, but what a love for dogs that he had.
Absolutely.
And so that's a wonderful cause, so we want to congratulate her as well. What were some of the other contenders? They look awfully delicious as well.
These are just some of our cupcake flavors that we have in our shop. We have a black forest with the cherry in it. We have our carrot spice cake, red velvet, cookies and cream, and our key lime.
Okay, and you have a wonderful example of special cakes that you do.
Yes, we do
well?
wedding cakes, specialty cakes, anything you can think of.
And very exciting news for you because you're getting ready to open a new location.
We have our grand opening tomorrow. Starts at 11 a.m. There'll be a ribbon cutting ceremony.
Okay.
Lots of goodies for everybody to try.
All right. Well, congratulations to you. And will this still be available? The winning cupcake?
It just might.
Okay. I'll hang on to this one just in case. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, Molly Tunney, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations to our winner and congratulations to Laura's Bakery.
Thank you so much.
New grand opening. All right. And we are going to take a look at how it's looking outside. Some beautiful sunny skies right now. Temperatures are actually going to be warming up as the week progresses, and Kelly's going to tell us more about that.
Yes, and Chris, because we've been talking about the fact that it's been a little tough this morning springing forward, this tweet was sent in about Lexi. Have tried to move Lexi's clock forward, but all she does is growl. Now, can we blame her, Chris? Definitely is tough across central Indiana, but we are going to see a lot of sunshine today. Good news from that category as well as the temperature category. We're going to see temperatures climbing. We do have a cold front that's moving across the Great Lakes area, bringing a few clouds around, but all in all, really a beautiful start all across central Indiana. Sharpsville, beautiful from our Weather Bug Network. Here's a look at Connorsville. We did have a lot of melting that happened yesterday, and that meltdown will continue today. Currently 29 degrees in Greenfield, 33 in Anderson, 31 in Zionsville, and it's 30 degrees right now in Greenwood, 27 in Lafayette, 27 as well in Columbus. And we're going to see a beautiful day with all this blue sky, 28 degrees at the Indianapolis airport, and the winds are lighter out of the south-southwest at 6 miles per hour. We still have a wind chill value, making it feel like it's 22 degrees. We are tracking some warmer weather, and of course we did spring forward this morning, and the sunrise was officially at 8:08 and sunset tonight at 7:44. Now this cold trend has finally come to an end. We have been well below normal for 27 days, and we'll still tack on a couple more days because we're not going to quite hit 48 degrees, at least maybe tomorrow, but our average high is 48 degrees for this weekend. And yesterday we did get up to 42, and believe it or not, we haven't been above 40 degrees since February the 8th, and on that day we actually climbed to 57 degrees. So we're starting to dig out of this cold trend. In fact, we are tracking temperatures near 60 degrees this week, and we're also tracking rain, not snow. Temperatures today will be climbing into the mid-40s as the winds pick up out of the southwest, and it will feel more like 44 degrees this afternoon because the winds won't be as gusty as they were yesterday. High of 44 degrees for Indianapolis with mostly sunny skies, high around 45 in Richmond, 41 the high in Peru, 46 in Greencastle, and 47 in Nashville. Tonight, temperatures fall to 30 degrees. It will be a mild overnight, really on track for normal for this time of year. And then as we head into Monday afternoon, another mild day. Temperatures continue to climb with a high of 46 degrees, light breezes, and we'll see mostly sunny skies. Now on Tuesday, we are tracking a chance of some rain. A system will move across the Ohio River Valley, and it's been trending a little bit farther to the north. So we'll put a chance of some rain mainly along and south of I-70 on Tuesday. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. High of 44 degrees for this afternoon. Temperatures fall to 30 tomorrow morning. Dry again for Monday, closer to that average high of 48 tomorrow afternoon with a high of 46. Then we finally climb above average on Tuesday, high of 51. The mid-50s return for Wednesday, near 60 by Thursday, and rain does look likely by Friday.
Now, Eyewitness Sports.
The first Saturday of March is big for Operation Basketball. We had the girls' state finals and the boys' sectional finals. We'll start with a great matchup at Shortridge last night, where third-ranked Cecina took on number 1 Park Tudor. Bryce Moore makes the steal for Park Tudor and throws the lob to fellow senior Dwayne Gibson, plus a foul. Gibson scored 19 points. Then Moore throws the inbounds pass and gets it right back for 3. Moore led the Panthers with 21 points. Defending state champion Park Tudor moves on to the regional with a 75-60 win over Cecina. Columbus North made a big comeback against Homestead in the Class 4A girls final at Bankers Life Fieldhouse last night. Allie Patberg missed a bunch of shots in the first half, then she caught fire. The McDonald's All-American gives the Bulldogs the lead as the third quarter ends, and Patberg finished with 31 points. She also won the Mental Attitude Award and is headed to Notre Dame as Columbus North wins the state championship 62-56.
I'm just, blessed to be here with my team and, blessed to have all these fans. And I want to thank God and thank my family and thank this, Columbus North and my team. I love you guys. Thank you.
And Saturday afternoon, Tyesha Harris and Heritage Christian taking on Fort Wayne Canterbury in a rematch of last year's Class 2A final. Harris driving to the basket for 2 of her 20 points. That was a game high. Heritage Christian scored 19 straight points near the end of this game to win going away, 73-53. It's the 6th state title for Rick Reisinger, the most ever for a girls basketball coach.
All the way up the floor to a wide open Peyton.
Quite honestly, I'm like a dad on Christmas morning and the kids open up the gifts. I enjoy the fact that the girls get to enjoy this. So it's not really about me. I mean, I could really quite honestly care less. But it's the excitement of Christmas morning when the girls are winning these state championships. That's what's neat about it.
And Saturday began with the Lafayette Central Catholic Class A game against Bar Reeve. Cameron Onken drives baseline, gets the layup and the foul. Onken scored 16 points. The Knights started to take control in the third quarter. Emily Burks drops a three-pointer. Burks scored 17, and Lafayette Central Catholic wins 52-44.
After regionals, the Wednesday after that, we had a low point in our season. One of our assistant coaches passed away, and so we definitely went out there and we played for him. And every play, I mean, all the hustle plays, everything was for him. We left his seat open, and he would have always wanted that. I mean, he always was the one that had the most faith in us, so we definitely went out there and played for him.
That's quite inspiration. And Princeton wins the Class 3A girls state title. All right, have yourself a great Sunday, and I'll see you tonight on the 13 Sports Jam.
All right, Rich, thank you. Well, next on Sunrise, only 2 months left until the 500 Festival Mini Marathon, how Hoosiers are working their way up to the big race, and how you can get prepared with some last-minute training tips.
The clock is ticking for students applying for financial aid for college. The free application for Federal Student Assistance Form, or FAFSA, is due in just a couple of days. There are about $300 million available in financial aid here in Indiana, but less than half of school seniors have completed the paperwork. The state encouraging students to get busy this weekend. You're running out of time. Colleges use the information in part to determine scholarships. So to give you some incentive, I want you to take a look at some of the estimated costs of colleges and universities here in Indiana. Indiana State University would cost about $21,000. St. Joseph's College, that's my alma mater, Kelly, and the University of Indianapolis, they both cost a little over $38,000. FAFSA is due March 10th, and that's Tuesday. If you'd like a link for the form or more information, go to our website at WTHR.com. Just look for it under Hot Topics. Well, the One America 500 Festival Mini Marathon is just weeks away, and now the weather is finally cooperating with runners and walkers hoping to finish the nation's largest half marathon. Eyewitness News reporter Jeremy Brilliant has advice from the experts if you want to make it across the finish line.
While this may look like a race, it's actually just a training run. 6 miles, less than half of what these runners and walkers will cover on May 2nd for the mini marathon. And it's not too late to get involved.
We just recommend that you start slow, don't bite off more than you can chew in the first training run, and take it slow and set an attainable goal.
These last few weeks of winter have been brutally cold and snowy.
I don't think it was as bad as last year.
But Teresa Hazel has been able to keep up her training.
And when I know I'm signed up for a race and I blog about it, so people are watching me and expecting it, so I feel like I'm committed, and so that gets me out there even when I don't want to go.
And at the Blue Mile, where business is starting to pick up now that the temperature is starting to warm up.
It's definitely not too late. You've got time, but it's pacing yourself, not just getting excited because the weather's breaking.
They agree. You can still participate in the mini, even if you haven't been pounding the pavement for months.
It's not just saying, hey, I'm going to go from not running at all to 10 miles all of a sudden. Probably not the best recommendation. Hopefully a couple miles, 3 or 4 miles, build up a mile or two each week until you get to the point of the mini being here in about a month and a half.
Like the 1,700 people who took part, you too can cross the finish line if you take it nice and easy. Jeremy Brilliant, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
And a reminder, we're very excited about this. WTHR now the official broadcast partner of the race, which is on May 2nd. And there's still time to register. We're going to save you $10, in fact, on your registration. Just use the promo code WTHR when you sign up online. And even at the coldest time, I saw people out there running, and I said, I know they're training for the marathon, God bless them, but now at least they've got some relief.
Absolutely, and that is such a fun race to be a part of. If you've never done it, it's a great opportunity to get out and really have a goal to succeed with that. And we are definitely going to see a nicer week this week, so good training week. I know Jeremy mentioned yesterday good running weather for him is in the mid-40s, and that's what we're going to have today. It's currently 36 degrees in Nineveh, 36 in Seymour, 31 in Kokomo, and we are tracking a slow warming trend this week. It's going to actually feel more spring-like finally, and temperatures will be nearing 60 degrees. We are tracking some rain chances, but at least it's not snow. Temperatures today climbing to around 44 degrees this afternoon, and we are not talking about a wind chill today. The breezes will be much lighter than yesterday. And then as we head into tomorrow, high of 46 degrees, still a degree or two below average, but we finally get above average on Tuesday with the chance of rain, especially I-70 and south, and then mid-50s for Wednesday, near 60 by Thursday, and it does look like a good chance of rain on Friday.
All right, sounds like a great forecast, Kelly. Thanks a lot. The robins will be relieved. I've been hearing lately, wondering if they came back too soon. Thanks for watching Eyewitness News. Remember, you can get us wherever you go. Check us online at WTHR.com, and we'll see you a little bit later on tonight. Have a great day.